Hello YouTube, I just want to read about my voice. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia redirected from voice. Voice redirects here for other uses. See voices and abbreviation. Vocal redirects here for the company. See voice limiter. The voice consists of sounds made by a human being using the vocal folds for talking, singing, laughing, crying, screaming, etc. The human voice is specifically that part of human sound production in which the vocal folds, vocal cords, are the primary sound source. Generally speaking, the mechanisms for generating the human voice can be subdivided into three parts: the lungs, the vocal folds within the larynx, and the articulators. The lung, the pump, must produce adequate airflow and air pressure to vibrate vocal folds. This air pressure is fueled with the vocal folds. Vocal cords are a vibrating valve that chops up the airflow from the lungs into an audible pulse that forms a laryngeal sound source. The muscles of the larynx adjust the length and tension of the vocal folds to fine-tune pitch and tone. The articulators, the parts of the vocal tract above the larynx consisting of tongue, palate, cheeks, lips, etc., articulate and filter sound. Emanating from the larynx, and to some degree it can interact with the laryngeal airflow to strengthen it or weaken it as a sound source. The vocal folds, in combination with the articulators, are capable of producing highly intricate arrays of sound. The tone of voice may be modulated to suggest emotions such as anger, surprise, or happiness. Singers, the human voice as an instrument, use the human voice as an instrument for creating music. Contexts: 1. Voice types and the folds chords themselves. 2. Voice modulations in spoken language. 3. Physiological and vocal timbre. 3.1 Vocal registration. 3.2 Vocal resonation. 4. Influences of the human voice. 5. Voice disorders. 5. Voice cord nodules and polyps. 6. See also. 7. References. 8. Further reading. 9. External links. Voice types and the folds chords themselves. Edit. Main articles, vocal folds, and voice types. Adult man and woman have different sizes in vocal fold, reflecting the male-female differences in larynx sizes. Adult male voices are usually lower pitched and have larger folds. The male vocal folds, which would be measured perfectly in the opposite diagram, are between 17 mm and 25 mm in length. The female vocal cords are between 12.5 mm and 17.5 mm in length. The folds in both sexes are within the larynx. They are attached at the back side nearest the spinal cord to the arytenoids, cartilages, and at the front side of the chin to the thyroid cartilage. They have no outer edge as they lean into the side of the breathing. The illustration is out of date and does not show this well. While their inner edges or margins are free to vibrate the whole, they have a three-layer construction of a epithelium and vocal ligament. Then vocalism muscles, which can shorten and bulge the folds. They are flat triangular bands, white in color above both sides of the vocal cords is the internal fold or vocal cords, which is a small sac between its two folds, not necessary. The difference in vocal fold size between men and women means that they have different pitched voices. Additional genetics also causes variance among the same sex. With men's and women's singing voices being categorized into types. For example, among men, there are bass, baritone, tenor, and countertenor, ranging from EQ to even 6. And among women, contralto, mezzo, soprano, and soprano range from 6 to C6. There are additional categories for operatic voices, the voice type. This is not the only source of difference between male and female voice, being generally speaking have a larger vocal tract, which essentially gives a resultant voice a lower sounding timbre, which is mostly independent of the vocal folds themselves. Voice modulation in spoken language. Human spoken language makes use of the ability of almost all persons in a given society to dynamically modulate certain parameters of the individual voice source in a consistent manner. The most important cognitive or phonetic parameters are the voice pitch, determined by the vibratory frequency of the vocal folds, and the degree of separation of the vocal folds, referred to as vocal fold adduction, coming together, or abduction, separating. The ability to vary the AV adduction of the vocal folds quickly has a strong genetic component, since vocal fold adduction has a life-preserving function in keeping food from passing into the lungs. In addition to the covering action of the epiglottis, consequently the muscles that control this action among the fastest in the body. Children can learn to use this action consistently during speech at an early age, as they learn to speak the difference between utterances such as papa having an abductory auditory gesture for the P, as 88 having no abductory gesture. Surprisingly enough, they can learn to do this well before the age of 2 by listening only to the voices of adults around them, who have voices much different from their own. And even though the laryngeal movements causing these phonetic differentiations are deep in the throat and not visible to them, if an abductory movement is strong enough, the vibrations of the vocal folds will stop or not start. If the gesture is abductory and is part of speech sound, it will be called voiceless. However, voiceless speech sounds are sometimes better identified as containing an abductory gesture, if the gesture was not strong enough to stop the vocal folds from vibrating. This limited feature of voiced speech sounds is better understood if it is realized that it is a change in the spectral qualities of the voice. As abduction proceeds, that is, the primary acoustic attributes that the listener attends to when identifying a voiced speech sound, and not simply the presence or absence of voice, periodic imaging. An adductory gesture is also identified by the change in voice spectral energy it produces. Thus, a speech sound having an auditory gesture may be referred to as a modal stop, even if the vocal fold vibrations do not entirely stop. Other aspects of the voice, such as variations in the regulatory vibrations, are also used for communication and are important for the trained voice user to master, but are more rarely used in the formal phonetic code of the spoken language. Physiology and vocal timbre. The sound of each individual voice is entirely unique, not only because of the actual shape and size of the individual's vocal cords, but also due to the size and shape of the rest of that person's body, especially the vocal tract, and the manner in which the speech sounds are habitually formed and articulated. It is this latter aspect of a sound voice that can be made by skilled performance. Humans have vocal folds that can loosen, tighten, or change their thickness.